Second unit describes the 4-quadrant operation of the DC drives. And the second part of the second unit covers the control of DC motors by choppers. So here we are going to control the DC motors with the help of choppers. Choppers are nothing but DC to DC converters, which means here we will have a DC input and the load is a DC motor. So input is DC and the load is DC. So we are using a DC to DC converter in between the supply and load. So that is the second part of unit number 2. Coming to the first part, 4-quadrant operation of DC drives. So in the first unit, I have given a 2-quadrant operation description in the full controlled converter, because full controlled converter operates in 4th quadrant along with the 1st quadrant, right? So in that time, I have told you that the 4-quadrant operation, generally we will have 4 quadrants, quadrant number 1, 2, 3 and 4, and motor has to be operated, any machine has to be operated in the 4-quadrant operation. And here we will see the detailed description of the 4-quadrant operation, which is the introduction of 4-quadrant operation. And in the 4-quadrant operation, we'll have motoring operation along with the braking operation. So we will see the motoring operation and the braking operation. Here in the braking operation, we will see the mechanical braking and electrical braking. And in electrical braking, again, we have 3 classifications called as plugging, dynamic braking and regenerative braking based on the energy dissipation. Based on the energy dissipation, this electric braking classification has been made. So this part we will see in the 4-quadrant operation of the DC drives. And this 4-quadrant operation can be achieved with the help of single phase as well as a 3-phase dual converters. How this can be achieved, we will see in the 4-quadrant operation of DC motors using single phase and 3-phase dual converters. You know the dual converter, how the dual converter operates and all. So we will see with the help of single phase and 3-phase dual converters, we will operate the motor under 4 quadrants. Okay. And next, the closed loop operation of the DC motor. If the DC motor is operating under closed loop condition, how it will operate, we will see. Here only we have to see the block diagram. So the block diagram representation and the block diagram explanation is enough for this concept. Okay. So in the second part, which is control of DC motors by choppers, in the second part, we will see the single quadrant, 2-quadrant and 4-quadrant operations of the choppers fed separately excited DC motors as well as the series DC motors. We'll have 2 DC motors, right? Separately excited and series DC motors. So these 2 DC motors will be operated or will be controlled with the chopper circuits, where these chopper circuits can are capable of operating in single quadrant, 2-quadrant and 4-quadrant conditions. So we will see all these concepts for separately excited DC motor and series DC motors. Here also we will see the circuit diagram, construction and continuous current operations, waveforms, speed torque expressions and the speed torque characteristics. So all these points we will see as we have seen same in the first unit. So similarly, here we will use the chopper converter, which is DC to DC converter, and we will see the continuous current operation and the waveforms, speed torque expressions. Based on these expressions, we will plot these speed torque characteristics. And after that, we will see the problems on chopper fed DC drives. And finally, here also we will see the closed loop operation block diagram related to the chopper drive. And this will be our last topic in unit number 2. Okay. Today we will discuss the 4-quadrant operation, which is the first part of second unit, the 4-quadrant operation, and the motoring and braking actions we will see today. So This is the detailed diagram of a 4-quadrant operation. You can see here. Here I have divided into 4 quadrants: quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. And here the directions has been shown for each and every quadrant. The direction of speed and the direction of torque. If the torque and speed are clockwise, if the direction is clockwise, then the symbol will be positive. Polarity is positive. If it is anti-clockwise, then the polarity will be negative. Okay. So coming to the first quadrant, see, these quadrants has been classified with the help of speed and torque. In the first unit, I have told you this classification. One second. Yes. So in the first unit, I have classified this 4-quadrant operation by taking current on the x-axis, voltage on the y-axis. So speed resembles the voltage, torque resembles the current. Because power can be written as the product of V and I, which is voltage and current. Generally, this formula we know, and in the motors, we can also calculate the power in terms of speed and torque. The product of speed and torque will give the power. In the machines, you have come across this. You have done calculations in the machines one subject as well as in the machines one lab, in the DC machines lab also. Power is product of speed and torque. P is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. 2 pi n, where 2 pi by 60 gives the conversion from n2, which is rpm, to radians per second, which is omega, n to omega. So 2 pi n by 60 is the power. So which is the product of omega, which is the speed and torque. So power can be voltage and current, the product of voltage and current, or the product of speed and torque. So speed is represented in the y-axis as the voltage represented in the y-axis. Similarly, torque represented on the x-axis as the current represented on the x-axis. You can take voltage and current for describing the 4-quadrant operation, or you can take speed and torque for describing the 4-quadrant operation. Because if you take speed, it resembles the voltage. If you take torque, it resembles the current. Okay. In the first quadrant operation, you can see the torque is in clockwise direction, because in the first quadrant torque is positive and speed is positive. So both are positive. Positive means clockwise direction. So the speed is in the clockwise direction, which is the motoring action. And similarly, the torque is also in the positive direction, which is clockwise direction. So both are positive. If we multiply speed and torque, which is plus omega and plus tau, we will get the power as a positive power, because plus into plus we will get plus power. So the power is also positive, which means this is a motoring condition. And this motoring condition, both the directions are in the clockwise. So for clockwise direction, generally the motor rotates in the clockwise direction. So this quadrant is called forward motoring quadrant. So in the forward motoring quadrant, speed and torque both are positive. Voltage and current both are positive. So if we get the power will also be positive, because plus V into plus I will get the plus. So the power is positive, which is the forward motoring action. So the first quadrant describes the forward motoring action, which is a regular motoring action. Okay. Now coming to the second quadrant. See, in the second quadrant, the torque value is negative. the torque is negative. So which means that now the torque is reversed in the anti-clockwise direction. So when the torque is here, the torque is reversed, which means the torque has minus sign and the omega is in the clockwise direction, the speed, which means the speed is in clockwise direction. So if you multiply the torque and omega, we will get minus p, because minus into plus will give the minus. So the power is minus. When the power is plus, it is motoring. If the power is minus, then it is generating action. When you will get the power, minus power, then that will be generating action. So the quadrant 2, it is generating action, which is also called as braking. Braking means we are controlling the speed, we are decreasing the speed. So the braking action, simply this braking action is also called as forward braking. Why it is called as forward braking? Because here the speed is positive. The speed is in clockwise direction. So when the speed is in clockwise direction, then we will say forward. If the speed is in reverse direction, we will say reverse. Reverse means anti-clockwise direction, we will say reverse. So here the speed is in clockwise direction, so we will say forward. And here the output power, the generated output power in the second quadrant will be a negative power, because plus omega into minus torque. So plus into minus, we will get minus p, which is generating action. So that is the reason why it is called as braking. So forward braking is in the second quadrant. Coming to the third quadrant, here the torque is negative as well as the speed is negative. Both are negative. Torque and speed are negative. Negative means both will rotate in anti-clockwise directions. You can see here the torque is negative torque and the omega is also negative. So if we calculate the power here, the power will be positive, because torque and omega both are negative. Minus into minus, we will get the plus. So the power will be positive power. So when the power is positive, then it will be a motoring action. So the third quadrant is also a motoring action, but the speed is in anti-clockwise direction. So this third quadrant called as a reverse motoring quadrant. So the quadrant 3 and quadrant 1 are motoring quadrants, but the quadrant 1 is forward motoring. However, the quadrant 3 is reverse motoring. This is because the speed is in anti-clockwise direction. Similarly, here in the fourth quadrant, the speed is negative, but the torque is positive here, because the torque direction is clockwise, but the speed is anti-clockwise. So the resultant power will be negative power, which is minus p. If you product these two terms, speed and minus omega into plus tau, minus omega into plus tau. If we product omega and torque, then we will get the negative power. Negative power describes again generating action. So fourth quadrant also generating action, so which is also called as a braking action. So in this braking action, I already told you in the first unit that the full control converter, when it is going to operate in fourth quadrant, it will generate some energy and it feeds back to the supply. So when the motor is generating energy, it will called as that action is called as generating action. So when the full converter is operating in the fourth quadrant, the motor behaves like generator for a while and it will deliver the power to the supply. So the resultant power will be minus P. Okay. So any motor is capable of operating in both the directions of rotation, then it will do both the actions, means the generating action as well as the motoring action. So both the actions it will do. So using these both actions, we have seen 4-quadrant operation. Okay. This 4-quadrant operation can also be shown in the tabular form. We will continue that in the next class. We will see the next class the tabular form of this 4-quadrant operation. Okay. Thank you.